Hello everybody, it's Bourbon Bill, and tonight, a very special episode. It's one of the hottest, most anticipated yearly releases from a well-established company, but could this be one of the best releases in probably the past 4 or 5 years? It's Disco 12, or Bardstown Bourbon Company Discovery Series number 12. Okay, I'm pretty pumped because, first off, the age stats are pretty good. We'll get to them in a second, but look at the color. Look at the color on this. Big shout out to Ralph, aka the Professor, for helping me get this one. Thank you, sir. Could not have done it without you. These are actually hard to come by. Well, first off, they don't come to PA, okay? And they're somewhat hard to come by. I mean, depending. Some people have better luck than others, right? Geographically speaking. But I've heard rumor it was from Sealbox. They said that there's actually not as many of these as there were of the 11 last year. So if you're going to want one, you might want to put in a little bit extra effort or start looking now. They're out there. If you want one. I don't know. May not even be any good. We'll get to it. So the stats on this bad boy, besides the sweet little copper gold series number 12, are 115.2 proof, compute 57.6% alcohol by volume. Boy, I love that. Just a nice right there proof, right? What separates this from the weaklings is the age statements here, okay? 48% is a Kentucky 14-year bourbon. And I'll put a picture up for you. But that's great. Almost half is 14 years old. That's what we like to see. Nice and old and dark in color. Could not be better on paper, just with that. We got 44%. There's 2 mash bills in there, but another 44% is a Kentucky 10-year. Okay, that's good. 8% is a Bardstown's own 6-year bourbon. So, could we have done without Bardstown? Sure. Don't put that in there, Bardstown. We want the 14 and more of it. And, the 10s are fine too. Okay, so this blends almost 50-50, 10 and 14. Almost, I said. I do, as I said last year, I'll link my review of the 11 above. Last year's 11 was kind of a return to form, right? Disco 4 is often considered the best, 3 or 4, but Disco 4 is often considered one of the best ones they've done. 5, 6, 7, 8, which is a little bit of a spoiler here. One of my favorites of all time. Discovery Series 8, baby. This was the old label. They switched to this new label on 10, but 8 was actually a boo rye, or a burr rye, if you will, with stave finishing. So that's pretty cool. I really dug this one. My ranking of the ones I've had so far has been number 4, number 1, number 8, number 2, and the 11 from last year, number 3. I might have had samples of like 5, 6, or 7. They were not worth the money. Don't ignore them. Not worth the money. 8 was very interesting because it was like the only boo rye they've done, I believe. But number 4 was all Kentucky, high age greatness, right? That didn't occur again until 11. So last year's 11 was the first time they kind of brought back. There's a 13-year in there last year. So again, go watch my review of that one. But if you're interested in hearing about the 11, that was a sample from my buddy Kevin. So I don't have his bottle. So we're not going to compare 11 to 12 this year. But each release is its own special release. And I like the 8 there better than the 11. So there you go. All right, enough chitter chatter, if you will. Price on this bad boy, though, $150 to $160 hair. So she ain't cheap. She better damn well deliver. Do we like the price? Without having tried it, no. Because if this was all 14 year, I would expect a price of like $140, $150. Okay? The fact that it's not, that it's half 10 year, there's some Bardstown's own 6 year in there, makes the price a little hard to swallow. It's expensive, it is. We won't be able to forgive it unless it's completely delicious. But on paper, too high. This should be about $1.20. Okay. And yes, I think last year's was 150, 162. So maybe that's, they didn't raise it from last year. So maybe that's just a gift in this time of inflation. I don't know. But I'm not loving the price. But I do love everything else on paper, stats-wise, about it. All right, this is a fresh crack. It's been resting for about 25 to 30 minutes in the glass. Oh man, the color, it's not super dark, but it's a very rich colored bourbon. All right, on the nose. Oh, 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 it smells so good. It smells so good. I get this delicious bouquet of dark fruits, dark brown sugars, and oak. I mean, oh, what a nose. What a nose. Oh my God. I could smell that all day. There's just this rich, dark, like sugar note that's encased in like a fruit cocktail type of note, but dark, not bright. And then just like the delicious backbone of oak on the nose. Wow, I'm really digging it, really digging it. All right, down the hatch. Oh, that is delicious. Oh, man. Wow. Oh, still going. Good long finish. Boy, is this, it's kind of oily. It's not like maple syrup thick, but it's oily and like it's mouthfeel texture, if that makes sense. Fantastic. There's some citrus notes here. The fruit, the citrus, the sugar note hits first. That's the front of the palate. The back of the palate's more brown sugar, and then just, it's all oaky, baby. It's like it's well seasoned, sweet oak. It's very good. I mean, that nice intricate balance between the fruits, the citrus, and the oak is just well done here. Oh man. Bourbon Bill's rating is an A+, must buy. Must buy. Sorry, I hate the price. There's better values. Don't get me wrong, there's better values out there. But I think it's really well done. From memory, I like this better than 11. So now it's a dance between, is it better than Disco 8? My Boo Rye blend. Everyone knows how I'm partial to my ryes these days. So we got the Disco 8 right here, Discovery 12 here. I think the 12's ever so slightly darker, but just ever so slightly. Quick recap. Disco 8 is 66% a Kentucky 12-year bourbon. So like we're just right in the middle, splitting hairs. 66% is a lot. 17% a 7-year MGP rye. 51% rye, by the way. 11% Ontario 12-year corn whiskey, 100% corn. And 6-year Indiana 6-year rye, so MGP rye, 95.5. So it's got like a 6-7-year rye and like a 12-year bourbon and a 12-year corn whiskey in it. It's quite a unique mash bill, if you will. All right, on the nose, the Disco 8. Oh, there's just such rye spice. There's fruits here. There's caramels. It's like a nice cherry note here coming on this one. Down the hatch. Oh, man, Disco 8's so good. Finish here is all MGP rye finish. It really is really good on the finish. There's fruit here. There's caramels. There's rye spice. It's a very complex package. The cherry notes here. I really dig Discovery 8 a lot, but I don't know if it's going to win. I think Disco 12, as much as I love Disco 8, I think Disco 12 is just gonna hurt it a little bit. Back to the 12. Yeah, the 12 is better. So, new ranking for me. Well, I can't compare the 4. I don't have it anymore. 4, 12, 8 of ones that I've tried. But there you go. As much as I hate the price, this is kind of a must-buy. It really is. Now, I wouldn't leave you there because it's Bourbon Bill. We always do something just a little bit extra for you. What other age-stated bourbon release from a well-known distillery has come out this year? There's been a couple. We'll just pause there. There's been a couple. Russell Reserve 15. Don't own a bottle. Still want one. So if someone has to hook up for me for Russell Reserve 15 for a fair price. You know, $250 MSRP is already high, but so fair price. But that's more expensive, right? That's $100 more than Disco 12. 100 more. So that's not really a great comparison. It's probably better from memory. How about Jack Daniel's 12 year, baby? 90 doll hairs this year. Okay, 90 doll hairs. Jack Daniel's 12 year for 2024 release. This is batch 2 dose for those that speak Spanish. 107 proof, compute, 53.5% alcohol by volume. So she's quite a bit less expensive. It's all 12 year though. Okay, there's no 14, I know. No 14 in here. But there's no 10 and there's no 6 either. It's all 12. Proofs within striking distance. Let's pour it up in the mini here. Oh, this cork just never wants to come out. On the nose, JD. Just bananas, char, and oak. And it's wonderful. It's so good. It's so good. And it's a danker, mustier oak. It's not like a sweet, sensual oak as we were getting on the finish of the Disco 12. This is a dank, bold oak. Down the hatch. Oh, if that ain't delicious. Oh, just what we said on the nose. It's bananas, char, a lot of oak. The banana note's minimal here, it really is, but it's there. Wow. Also feels fairly thick on the mouthfeel for not being barrel proof. I don't think either of them are. God damn. That Disco 12 came to play. Gosh, it's good. Just, it's such an integration. Overall, I gotta say it's probably more complex than the JD12, but I don't know. I literally can't decide here. I mean, they're different flavor profiles, but they're almost equally as good. Oh, gosh, I don't know if I can come up with a winner tonight between those two. It's for me, it's very close. Now, totally different flavor profiles, don't get me wrong, but that's what I'm talking about Disco 12's killer, right? JD12 is like one of my favorites of all time, right? Come on, it really is. It's delicious. It's delicious stuff. If you never had one, try to find one. But that's when we talk about the price of the Disco 12. Some people are going to say, well, Bill, it's 2024, $150 a bottle is what you're going to pay for good shit. Maybe. But I'm just here to say, better values exist in age-stated LE products. Okay. I'm just going to say that. Now, since this 12 is supposedly more limited than the 11, I don't know how many of these are going to be released. I don't know. So, you know, maybe the JD12 is harder to get and it's a moot point and they're going to pay more secondary for that. Maybe it's a moot point. I'm just trying to say that perhaps this should have been around 100 to 120 doll hairs and we would have felt okay about it. Okay, 150, 160... doesn't sit comfortable with me. Doesn't. But it is a buy for me. So if you see this on the shelf and you like the Disco series, this is one of the better ones. Period. Arguably the best since 4. If you're pinching pennies, and I get it, tough times. There's only a few bottles you can get the entire year. Look at what your flavor profile likes. Determine if you like something like this. It might be worth spending for you even. Okay, I'm saying that. It's a delicious bottle. Now, what other bottle have we reviewed this year that has a nice balance of fruit and oak, you might ask yourself? It's Bomburgers 2024, baby. No age statement whatsoever. None. Finished in Chingapin oak. Always delicious. $120 hairs, a little bit cheaper than our Disco 12. We don't know how many of these they release either, right? This is just one particular batch, and there was 2,000 in this specific batch, but they release a lot more than that for the year. Color, equally as dark. Now, the only reason I picked this one, there's no age statement on this, so it's not a direct paper comparison, but This is also a nice fruit and oaky blend. All right, Bomb Burgers 2024 comes in. If you don't remember, go watch my review of this one. But 108 proof, compute 54% alcohol by volume. Loved it. If you love the 23 release, this is very similar to that. The 23 might have had more oak on it though, but this is pretty in par with the 23 release. Bomb Burgers 24 in the nose. Hello, old friend. Caramels, fruits, and oak. But compared to the Disco 12. So the comparison on the nose here is interesting. The Bomb Burgers has a little bit like of a darker oak presence, but less fruit. Disco 12's got more fruit, but less of an oak presence on the nose. All right, Bomb Burgers down the hatch. Oh, so good. It's very like peaches, pear type of fruit. Caramels, and then nice little oak at the back end. Love it. Love it. Oh, that it's the Chingapin oak finishing, I think, that really adds to that. All right, back to the Disco 12. Gosh, those are so close to each other. Profiles are closer than the JD12. Ooh. I don't know. I'm really torn between these two. Another split decision, I think. I mean, it's so... Ooh. But here we go. Sadly, for Disco 12, with a lot of good age statement, right? It's not discernibly better than Bomb Burgers 2024 with no age statement. The mouth feels better on the Disco 12. Longer finish, a little bit spicier. So there's that. But the flavors you get other than those things are kind of close. Now, Bomb Burgers is about $120 hairs. It goes back to my point that this probably should have been $120. That's what I said earlier. If you're saving money and you have just one of these, I think you're gonna be okay. Don't buy two. Don't buy both if you're saving money. They're close enough for government work, as some might say. The Disco, like I said, the Disco 12 is fantastic. It's one of the best ones they've done. You should absolutely get it if you're a fan of the Disco series. Go ahead. I'm telling you, go ahead and spend the money. Tell your wife Bourbon Bill said to get it. It's that good, okay? But if you are saving pennies, you could pick up a Bomb Burgers 2024 for less money and be close enough. That's all I'm going to say. So if you like what you saw tonight, please like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Have a good evening, everybody.